The subjunctive mood in Latin is used for actions that are either not true, unreal, of a general circumstance, hypothetical, possible but not quite real, or hoped for but may or may not come true. To make things easier, Latin utilizes the subjunctive in only very specific and easily classifiable uses. For example, the result of an action will use the subjunctive mood, as does purpose. Since the subjunctive mood is different from the indicative mood, this is the factual mood that everyone always learns first, the conjugation of verbs into the subjunctive mood will be different. This video covers the conjugation of verbs in the passive voice of the perfect tense of the subjunctive. Remember first that the principal parts of verbs are very specific and important in that we get certain tenses and voices from each. The first and second principal part, and really the present stem, which is the second principal part without the re infinitive ending, is used to get the present, imperfect, and future tenses. These are the present system tenses. And the third and fourth parts are used to get the perfect, pluperfect, and future perfect tenses. These are the perfect system tenses. But we can subdivide these last two parts down even further. The third part is used for the perfect, pluperfect, and future perfect in the active voice, while the fourth part is for the same tenses in the passive voice. So, say we are conjugating a verb in the indicative mood. So note that this is the indicative, not the subjunctive, but you'll see why I start here. So into the indicative mood for the perfect passive, we would take the fourth principal part, make it an adjective, and since it's an adjective with first and second declension endings, we will use usa to illustrate that, and this will always be the same as the gender of the subject. And then we add the present tense of sum. So each perfect passive has a participle part, that's the amatus and also a verb part, that's the sum es est, etc. The subjunctive of this is pretty basic. So we make the verb part, the sum es est, etc., we make this subjunctive. So the subjunctive of sum is sim, si, sit, simus, situs, sint. So our perfect passive subjunctive conjugation of amo becomes amatus sim, amatus sis, amatus sit, amati don't forget to plural the participle when we plural the verb, simus, amati situs, and amati sint. This knowledge of the perfect passive subjunctive is good, though, especially when you're dealing with deponent verbs. You remember, deponents are verbs that have lost their active forms, and so look passive, even though we translate them into English like actives. So the perfect subjunctive, neither active nor passive, but the perfect subjunctive of sequor, sequi, secutus, sum is secutus sim, secutus sis, etc. So back to the regular passives. If we compare the indicative perfect passive with the subjunctive, you'll notice that it's really not that different, and what is different makes sense. We use the subjunctive forms of sum to make the perfect subjunctive.